Y'all let me be here. I usually don't write things down, but it's been so busy. I didn't want to miss anything, so I made a few notes. So if you'll just forgive me for looking at my notes every now and then. I usually don't do that, but I just want to give you a quick update on some of the road projects that are going on in and around the Alden Bridge area. Hopefully everybody's noticed that Research Forest is completed. That project started back in June of 2017. And with hurricanes and bad weather and all that we've had, we finished, we were still about 3 months ahead of schedule. And it's like any other project. Once you get the project going and you get it on the ground, if people start driving back and forth and we watch the traffic patterns, there's little glitches that we see, and we need to go do a couple more little modifications on some things. And down at Legacy Prep School, the entrance and exit coming out on the Research Forest, we've noticed that is not really working all that well. So we plan to go, when they close down for the summer for school, we're going to add a acceleration lane headed eastbound when you come out of the school. If you're coming out and you cross the westbound lane and you try to get on that eastbound lane, it's kind of rough to do. So we're going to add an acceleration lane, which looks just like a left turn lane, just reversed, so people can come out of the school and turn and accelerate and merge into the traffic. And right now people are getting out there trying to stop, and they're having accidents. So we hopefully this will relieve that problem. We're going to do that as soon as they close down for the summer. We're going to start working on that, and that will be hopefully the only thing we have to do to research to relieve that problem. We were contacted by some folks over at Mitchell Intermediate School about the problems with moms and dads picking and dropping off their kids at school on Kirkendall and Alden Bridge. Man, what a nightmare. We went over there and we observed a couple of days, and we noticed, and it's the little simple things that you don't see until you actually sit there a day or two and watch. You know, Kirkendall had the protected left turn, so everybody was kind of moving good, but Alden Bridge didn't have that, so everybody was just kind of stuck looking at one another. So when we noticed that, within about 3 days, we put the left turn protected on Alden Bridge, and it helped. It's not the proper fix, but it did help some and relieve some of the congestion. When we were sitting there watching the traffic patterns and watching how the buses run at this certain time, and the kids that walk and ride their bikes get out at this certain time, they're too close together. There's a crosswalk between the school and Kirkendall, so the kids get out about 2 minutes before the buses leave. Well, the kids are walking across the road, buses are trying to leave, and it's just, so we're going to meet with those folks again. And I think they're in agreement to work with us and to kind of separate those times a little bit. Either let the buses go a little early or the kids go a little early to kind of clear that up. We were also having some problems with some parents parking at Autumn Ranch. I can't remember. You know, they would go in there and pull around there and stop and wait for their kids to walk. Well, that was causing the problem. So we had the no parking signs up there, but people learn how to do that. If they stay in their cars, they're not parking. They figure that stuff out, you know. So we had to go in there at another location. We put the no stopping, let's see, no parking, no stopping, no standing sign. So we've done that, and believe it or not, you can enforce that. I thought that was the craziest thing, but it can be enforced. So that's what's going on now. And I don't know whether it's helped or not. I haven't heard any feedback on that. So hopefully that's cleared some of that up, you know, with the kids riding their bicycles, walking across the road, the traffic signal working the way it should now. I think the ultimate goal that I've got after watching that intersection is if I cannot widen Kirkendall 4 lanes all the way, I need to widen that intersection 4 lanes at Kirkendall and Alden Bridge, and at least tie it in. It's about 800 feet to 1488, and that will clear up that intersection. It'll help the school, it will help the intersection, so that's what I'm looking at trying to do. I don't know when I can do that, but it's on the radar and it needs to be done, and we'll continue working towards that. City of Shenandoah, and I know we're not Shenandoah, but Shenandoah they have requested, or they have had some concerns about a right turn lane from Grogan's Mill onto Research Forest, and then another right turn from Research onto Grogan's Mill. That's a pretty easy fix. I haven't really gotten into doing all the preliminary work we need to do with that. I think one of the things that is why they haven't really come down and really decided that's what they're going to do is there's still talk about an overpass at Grogan's Mill and Research Forest, and there's still, I don't think Shenandoah wants it. I don't know whether the township wants it. I don't know what's going on, and I'm trying not to get in the middle of that. I just want to, when they say, hey, let's put the 2 right turn lanes in, I want to be the guy they come to and say, let's do that. So we're looking at that. We did some one-way streets over in the Cottage Green area, and at a request from this board last year. So we went in there and we've done that. We took it to court and we got it all designed, engineered, figured out, put the no parking signs up, made the one-way street. And I guess it's working okay, because I haven't had any complaints. Now, we had phase 2 of that program, and I think last year when we done that, we had made the comment that when this board, when these residents are ready to try to do that, we've got it ready to go. So I don't know whether I need to reach out to these folks or reach out to you, or I don't want to just go and implement anything without somebody knowing it. So if y'all can help me with that, give me some kind of feedback on what's going on there, I will.
What was phase 2? More one-way streets, or?
I think it was no parking on either side of one street because of the emergency vehicles. I think that was one of the phases.
Okay.
I wish I'd have brought it with me. I didn't think about it until I got it.
I'll contact Steve Lakey because he lives over there.
Yes.
And I'll see if he knows anything about it, and if he doesn't, I will try to find out and let you know.
We've got it designed, or we've got it laid out, and he's got a copy of that thing.
Okay.
But again, if they want us to come back and revisit that, we're ready to go.
Okay.
Rumors. Rumors about Woodlands Parkway extension. I am not going to build Woodlands Parkway extension. We put it on the ballot, it was voted down, so I'm not going to do Woodlands Parkway. I'm not going to touch Woodlands Parkway. Another rumor is Branch Crossing, that I'm going to take Branch Crossing north over to 1488. I'm not going to do that either. Have never said I was going to do that. I have no intentions of doing that. I don't think anybody wants that, and I don't want it either. So that's not me. If the rumors are out there, it's not me talking about it. So, 242 flyovers. That was a big discussion in Commissioner's Court this morning. There's so many different misconceptions and misinformation, so much floating around about 242. It's paid off. The pass-through toll program's paid off. It's all paid off. I spent all day yesterday and all this morning with TxDOT. The fact is, we've got an agreement with TxDOT to do certain things. We've got an agreement, they've got an agreement with us. Part of that agreement is we're being paid back, not as a toll, but vehicle miles for vehicles that weren't run on certain roads. We've got an $18 million payment coming to us, Montgomery County, in June or July of this year. And then after that payment's made, there will be $56 million put in an escrow account for TxDOT and Montgomery County to work together on what projects we want to spend that $56 million on. Now, if we go and lift the tolls on these toll roads without our commitment being met, I don't know what TxDOT's going to do. I don't know whether TxDOT will say, you didn't hold up your bargain, you didn't hold up your end of the deal, We're not gonna pay this $18 million, we're not gonna pay this $56 million, we're done. So that's the reason I did not vote to take the tolls off of 242 today. What I did do was I suggested we have a workshop with TxDOT and Montgomery County, because nobody can tell you what the pass-through toll program consists of. They can't tell you what all it is from start to finish until we get everybody in the room that worked on the program, put the program together, and I've sent 4 dates to TxDOT the minute I got out of court for the last week in May, first week in June, to hold a workshop in Commissioner's Court to understand the pass-through program, to know what we can and can't do. If we take the tolls off of 242, we know we're going to have to maintain it. We know we'll have to do that. But is there something else that we take those off right now without our commitment being fulfilled 100%? That's what we got. That's what I need to know. I don't want to risk losing $74 million. That's my position on it. So that's why the tolls were not lifted on 242 today. So I'll answer any questions.
And at 242, have you seen any improvement with these roads that were built? I mean, because 242, if you're going eastbound from Gosling to the highway, is a standstill most of the time. If you're trying to exit the highway, go onto 242 and go eastbound that way where the hospital is, it gets backed up. I mean, and then if I'm coming westbound to go back to Gosling, it's backed up. I just don't see where there was any improvement made. It seems like it's worse now.
With the flyovers, it's worse?
Yes. Because I travel 242 often, I live off of it. And it shouldn't take me 25 minutes for my husband, or me or my husband, to get from Gosling to the shopping center right before St. Luke's to drop our child off for her reading program. It's like a mile and a half.
I do know TxDOT has got 242 planned for widening in 2020. Now, what they've also done is they've moved something, and I gotta go back and check. They've also moved the east side of 45 up from 2021 to 2019 to widen it. So 2020, they're supposed to widen 242 6 lanes.
Well, I mean, you can't get down it right now.
I understand. It's got to be widened.
It's a state road.
It's TxDOT.
But mainly
We
we
have to
feel
work
like
with
it's the
TxDOT.
Gosling turn.
Well, the Gosling turn back, yes, going on to Gosling, but I'm saying coming from Gosling. He will text me that he has sat through 3 lights at the fellowship and he hasn't moved an inch. Then that shouldn't happen.
And he's going west
east.
or going east?
He's going eastbound so he's going towards the highway, and then he has to come and turn around and go through it again, coming back.
Well, we do have in our one of our bond projects, we have to add another turn lane going west on 242 on the Gosling.
Right. Aren't they doing that now? Because there's a bunch of construction there. No?
They're not doing that now.
Okay.
They're doing something with a walk path or something like that. We've got that to do in our in our bond issue. We just haven't got to it yet. That's one of the projects that we want to do, is add the other turn lane, and then add another turn lane coming off of Gosling onto 242. We were going to do the same thing at Greenbridge, and that got all messed up, and we had to go back and start over. Greenbridge needs the same thing. It needs another turn lane off of 242. It's terrible.
Yes, it backs up.
Yes.
So,
It's dangerous. Very dangerous.
Do you have an update on the turn lanes on Research Forest going into the Alden Village Center?
Yes. Are you talking about the one crossing?
Yeah.
You want the left?
Right.
Yes, that's coming pretty soon. We've got that in the works right now.
Okay.
We talked to John Pyre again today about that. So we're ready to go with that.
All right, thank you.
Do I need to let anybody know we're doing that? I mean, the neighborhood across the street. when they come out of there and see that the first time, do I need to give everybody there a heads up somehow, or can we give somebody a heads up?
I would, Commissioner Riley, first I would definitely let the township board know, John Powers know, and then also let our board know. So basically it's just a communication tool, right? So as many people as you can let know what's going to happen, because even telling the board, right, the township board,
Yeah.
I know, residents might not listen to them anyway, so basically most of the information comes locally from the
Okay.
village associations. But obviously let the township know so they can go pass that along, as well as the village associations. We'll be able to-
When we're a week or 10, or when we're a couple of weeks out of really actually starting construction, I'll let you know, and I'll be sure to let John Byers in the township know.
And I'll disseminate that information. Does anybody else have any questions for Commissioner Riley?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Has anybody ever looked into the Kendall Green traffic? So I've noticed Kendall Green is a little short street that cuts through from Alden Bridge to Kuykendall near Mitchell. And there's a lot of speeding traffic, and it's hard for me to turn left into my neighborhood because people turn the corner, they're like flooring it, taking a shortcut.
Shortcut around,
Mitchell.
okay.
You know, it's a little short street that cuts over
I know where it's at.
Alden Bridge to Kuykendall. It kind of comes out through
Yeah.
the HEB. And there are no stop signs or anything, but it's just a small little street with people turning in and kids crossing the
There's
street.
cross streets, and is there crosswalks and all that?
There's a lot of crosswalks, but there are no stop signs.
Is there cross streets where we might look at putting up a stop sign?
Yes.
What I'll have to do,
Definitely.
Cedar Grove and Sandal Branch.
I'm sorry?
Cedar Grove and Sandal Branch.
Oh, wait,
Cross
no,
right there.
Pleasant Bend and.
No, that's it would be a four-way.
Now look,
We need a couple of stop signs.
I can't just go out there and put up stop signs. I
Do a
gotta,
traffic study or something.
I have to do a warrant study to see if it will warrant a
But
stop sign.
that's the only where it would be a four-way
That'd be
stop.
an obvious place to put it, but I'm turning into Pleasant Bend, and it's like a blind corner, people just
Well,
flooring
see,
it.
there's all different things that a traffic warrant has to, a stop sign warrant has to meet. And one of them is sight distance.
Okay.
So if there's something we need to look at, like a corner or a curve, or we'll do a warrant study.
We'd be happy with like 2 stop signs and a 20-mile-per-hour road.
Are
And
the
some
speed,
speed
are the
bumps.
speed limit signs there? I mean, I live back there too. I live back in.
What is the speed limit, 30 or 35?
35, but crazy.
Okay.
Short little thing that
Okay.
people floor it.
So, are y'all writing this, somebody writing this down, so I don't forget?
I will text
You
you.
know what
We need to
I'm
do a
talking
warrant
about.
study,
Yeah, I
Kendall
think
Green
we're-
and, what was that street, Kendall Green?
Pleasant Bend.
Pleasant Bend,
Or Sandal Branch.
Sandal Branch, and what? Cedar Grove.
I've been over that way, but I've never noticed that there were.
Cedar Grove?
No,
Charlie,
it's just because
isn't the reason why the 242 got held up, isn't that because of a permit with the state of Texas or no?
On what?
On the 242 turn lanes, isn't that, I think they would want to know that.
I've never.
It's not a street
Okay,
that's
can-
made to have that level.
I'm losing control here.
Excuse me,
I'm
we just
losing
have
control.
one person talk at a time. Thank you.
So we'll do a warrant study on Kendall Green to see if we can place a stop sign at one of those locations.
Okay.
Now, and the lieutenant sitting over here, we can't put a stop sign up just to control speed. There's gotta be a reason. It's gotta meet the warrants, okay? So if it meets any of the warrants,
What
We'll
is an
certainly do.
example of a warrant? What does that mean, like the level of
Like,
traffic or?
one of them is a average of 800 cars per hour, or 500 cars per hour over an 8-hour period. That's hard to meet,
Yeah,
very hard.
I didn't have.
But
Just drive around the block.
if there's a sight distance, you know,
When are they gonna do
that's what we'll do.
Yeah, let us know when you'll see the little fire car.
Time for one more question, and then we need to move on.
Real quick, Egypt Wing, an update on that.
Oh.
That was bid out, wasn't it already?
Yes, that was bid out, the
Research.
contract's been awarded.
Okay.
We're waiting on AT&T to get out of the way again on Egypt Lane.
Has there been any conversation as far as traffic control? Once that's all 4 lanes, what are y'all gonna do up there at Home Depot pulling out on Egypt? Because right now it's a nightmare. I mean, if somebody's trying to, is that gonna be, There's probably not gonna be a light there because there's a light at 1488.
Probably not a lie, but I need to look at, I don't know what the plans show for that, but I'll see if I can find it. It's probably gonna end up being something like, we're looking at it, research and legacy. It looks great on paper, you get it down on the ground, we may have to do something. But I'll look and see what the plans say.
Okay.
And we're waiting on AT&T to get out of the way. Again. And then I want to say, 242 in Gaza is held up because of the TxDOT permit. We gotta have a permit to move the light. I didn't even think about that. Anytime you deal with TxDOT, I'm telling you, it's a deal. It's a deal.
Thank you much for coming, Commissioner Riley.
you.
Thank you for the update and all the information.
Thank you.
Thank you.